Mahabharat Reading 3. Though Dhritarashtra had got the throne on temporary basis, he and his eldest son Duryodhan developed a longing to retain it by hook or by crook. The mind working behind this illegal desire was that of Shakuni, Gandhari's brother. He was constantly poisoning the mind of his nephew Duryodhan against the Pandavas. Duryodhan did not like the Pandavas at all and was always planning to get rid of him. He despised Bhima in special because of his physical might, which he feared the most. One day, Duryodhan chalked out a plan to do away with his arch-rival Bhima. He invited the Pandavas to have a picnic on the river bank. He maneuvered to get the food of Bhima's share to be poisoned somehow. As soon as Bhima ate the food, he felt senseless. While playing in the water, nobody noticed him, and the party returned home after the picnic was over. As for Bhima, while drifting with the strong current of the river, he chanced to be bitten by some poisonous snakes. Diamond cuts diamond, we know. In like manner, the bites of the poisonous snakes nullified the effect of this poison mixed with food and thus acted as an antidote. As a result, Bhima gained consciousness, swam to the bank, and returned home, much to the relief of his mother, Kunti, and his 4 brothers. When Bhima narrated the entire incident to them, they all condemned Duryodhan's action. Dronacharya was the most famous bowman archer of his time. He was married to Kripi, the son of Kripacharya, the teacher of the princes. Drona had a son named Ashwasthama, whom he loved very dearly. Drona was very poor, and so was his son. Ashwasthama was often mocked by his playmates on this account. Whenever Drona was told about it by his son, he was deeply pinched at heart. Drona had been a classfellow of King Drupad of Panchal in the ashram of his guru, Saint Agnivesha. They were so thick that with each other that Drupad often used to say, "Dear Drona, when I ascend the throne, you will be welcome any moment, taking my everything to be yours." Hurt by the taunts of his son, Ashwasthama had to suffer at the hands of his playmates. Drona made up his mind to visit Drupad for monetary help. So he, accompanied by his wife and son, went to the court of King Drupad. As luck would have it, the king not only refused to recognize him, but sent him away using disgraceful words for him. Drona was so worried and angry that he said to Drupad, "Mind you, O Drupad, I will avenge this insult as certainly as night follows the day." Saying these words, Drona came back to Hastinapur to see Kripacharya, his brother-in-law. One day, a strange thing happened when the Kauravas and Pandavas were playing with a ball in open area near the outskirts of Hastinapur. Just nearby, there was a well. Suddenly, the ball bounced up and fell into the well. All of them peeped into the well to locate the ball that was floating on the surface of the water. But that was not all. Suddenly, Yudhishthira's ring slipped out of his finger and dropped into the well too. Everybody was puzzled, not knowing what to do. Just then, a Brahmana happened to pass that way. He had very impressive looks and was carrying a bow in his hand and a quiver of arrows hanging from his shoulder. He asked the princes why they are so sad. Yudhishthira bowed to him and told him what had happened. The Brahmana consoled the princes and said, "Don't worry at all. I will get the ball and the ring out for you." The Brahmana asked the princes to get him some thin reed sticks, which they did. He pointed out one each of the reed sticks sharp, and then, after an incantation on one of them, he shot it at the ball with his bow. The reed stick pierced the ball and got stuck to it. Then he shot another reed stick such that it pointed and pierced the thick end of the first reed stick and got stuck into it. In this way, shooting reed sticks each into the previous one, he made a chain of reed sticks and drew out the uppermost reed stick. Along with it came the chain of reed sticks and the ball. Then the Brahmana shot an arrow after, chanting holy words into it. The arrow went into the well down the surface of the water and came back with Yudhishthir's ring. The princes saluted the Brahmana and requested him to accompany them to Bhishma, their grandfather. On being told everything, Bhishma at once followed that the Brahmana was none other than Dronacharya. So he persuaded him to educate the princes in all arts of warfare. Drona gladly agreed to what Bhishma wanted him to do. One day, Drona decided to test the ability of each prince in archery. So he prepared a wooden sparrow, and it was hung from the branch of the tree. Then he asked each prince to be ready with his bow and arrows for the test. He explained that each of them would be given a chance to shoot at the wooden bird such that the arrow would hit the bird's right eye. All the princesses got ready, and first of all, Dronacharya called out to Yudhishthir to come and show his skills. When Yudhishthir had aimed at the bird, Dronacharya asked him, "What do you see, O prince?" "I see the entire bird body and also the string which is hanging it," replied Yudhishthir. "You can't do it. Go back and let the next candidate come," said Drona. One by one, all the princes were given the chance, but none of them could satisfy Drona. Now it was only Arjuna who remained to be given the chance, so Drona asked him to come forward and show his skill. Arjun came forward and touched the feet of his guru, who blessed him to be successful. Then Arjun set an arrow at his bow and took aim. Drona asked him, "What do you see, O Arjun?" "I see nothing but the eye of the bird, sire." Pat came the reply. So the guru said, "Shoot." Arjuna shot the arrow. In a flash, it darted towards a wooden bird and pierced its right eye. There was an uproar, and everybody praised Arjun. The delighted guru hugged Arjun affectionately and blessed him. "May you become an invincible archer." One day, the great guru was sitting alone when the princes came to have their lesson. Drona said to listen, "O princes, I have a desire to something. After you have completed your training, you will all have a job for me, will you?" Hearing this, none of the Kaurava princes came forward. They remained silent, but Arjuna stood up and promised Dronacharya to accomplish the job. Drona kissed the forehead of the young prince and hugged him out of affection. Tears of joy also welled up in his eyes. From that day on, Arjuna became the favorite student of Dronacharya. When the princes had completed their schooling in all martial arts, Bhishma decided to arrange a competition among them in skills of archery, swordsmanship, and the use of mace severally. It was indeed a grand event to watch. A large number of people and dignitaries of the Kaurava court had come to witness the event. Bhishma was eager to see how far each prince has achieved in the art of warfare. Separate competitions were held in various skills, and the princes displayed what they had learned. Two of these events were really worth seeing. One of them was a feat shown by Arjun with his bow and arrows. He shot an arrow into earth and created a fearful fire out of it. Then he shot another arrow in the sky and caused a heavy downpour, which extinguished the fire. In like manner, he showed some skills which spoke very highly of his matchless perfection in wielding a bow and arrows. A second event was display of using the mace. Both Bhima and Duryodhan were famous mace wielders of that time. We know a feeling of bitter hostility that existed between the two cousins since long. Duryodhan was jealous of Bhim because he had always proved superior to him, whatever they chose to do. So, while showing their achievements in arts of using mace, they indulged in real mace duel. Ashwasthama lost no time to judge this fact and at once intervened. It was very great difficulty that he could succeed in pulling them apart. Towards the end of the tournament, Karna appeared in the arena. He was a close ally of Duryodhan and a sworn rival of Arjun. Whenever he heard Arjun's praise, he was beside himself and with ill will and anger. Stepping into the arena, Karna thundered, "Listen, everybody. You have seen and praised the skill of Arjun with a bow and arrows. I want your indulgence to see my skills also." "Why not, dear Karna? You are most welcome," said Dronacharya. "But I would like to have a close combat with Arjuna to prove my superiority as an archer," argued Karna. At that time, Kripacharya, the royal priest, stood up and rejected Karna's request, saying, "This competition is open for princes and not for the sons of the charioteers, O Karna. You cannot participate in it at all." Duryodhan came to Karna's rescue and said, "Who says that Karna is not a prince? I declared him the ruler of the state of Anga just now. Now say what you have to say, respectable sir." At this, Arjuna stood up and, going to Kripacharya, asked for his permission to say something. When permitted, he said, "Listen, O Karna, you are perhaps overconfident of your bravery, but nobody in this world is the last word in anything. As for me, I am the true warrior. Do you believe I will show my back when challenged by someone?" Arjuna's fearless and well-guarded statement silenced Karna, and he started repenting of all his tall claim. As for the audience, it gave out a general applause for what Arjuna had said. Moreover, it was evening, and so Bhishma announced the close of the competition, much to the charging of Duryodhan, Karna, and all their friends. One day, Duryodhan called all the princes to him and said, "I have imparted to you all of the training in various martial skills and the use of weapons. Now I ask for my Guru Dakshina." The princes asked the Guru what he would like to have. Drona said, "I was insulted by King Drupad in his court before I came to see you, for no fault of mine, despite he had been my classmate and childhood friend. I want him to be presented before me as a captive." The Pandavas attacked Panchala, took Drupad prisoner, and presented him before their Guru, who felt satisfied to have his revenge. We know that later on Arjuna married the daughter of Drupad, and so he fought for the Pandavas in the battle of Mahabharat. Drona, despite his love for Arjuna in special, and the Pandavas in general, chose to fight against them because of Drupad only.